Good afternoon and thank you for joining our virtual event today. I'm Jo Griffiths, one of the founders of GIIG, a company with a very clear set of goals to find, fund and grow tech innovation linked to the UN Sustainable Development Goals across Africa. Having worked across the entire innovation value chain on the continent for almost a decade, we saw the need to identify a credible vehicle to help us scout all 55 African countries and connect an active global network. In other words, to enable startups to get seen, get connected, and most importantly, to get funded. So to do exactly that, we brought the Global Startup Awards to Africa. And as the exclusive rights owner, we have scouted the entire continent. And as I stand here today, I'm beyond proud to say that we had entries from 7,600 startups from 54 nations. The categories included Industrial Tech, HealthTech, Agri, Commerce, ESG and Women in Tech, with around 80% having climate changing solutions. At this point, I'd like to congratulate every finalist. It's a huge achievement to get this far. We have some truly remarkable startups and have been humbled by your ingenuity and tenacity. And we promise that we will continue to give you as much visibility as possible through our various initiatives to help you get seen and get connected to our extensive network of innovation leaders. This competition wouldn't be possible without our expert jury, all 215 of them who have worked so diligently to find our winners today, and our Pan-African country partners who have helped us unearth the very best talent. And the African public. Not in our wildest dreams did we think that we'd get 41,000 public votes. Lastly, I'd like to remind everyone of the significant opportunity for the 60 winners who will go on to compete in the next round of the competition when we identify our 12 winners. Not only will the 12 go on to compete on the global stage, but will also be offered funding from the GIIG Africa Fund, which will enable the winners to scale while assisting them from a capacity building perspective. Our ultimate goal to invest in and create future markets across the continent, and this is just the beginning. And my final message is one of gratitude for collaboration. The power and scale of GIIG is in the hands of the partnerships that we build, and without our partners this simply would not be possible. Therefore, a special thank you to Grant Thornton, whose support is enabling us to build the sustainable businesses which will positively impact the lives of Africans and those beyond. So good luck everyone. I look forward to engaging with each and every winner and future partners. Enjoy the event today.
Welcome everyone to the Global Startup Awards Africa. This is the very first time this award show is being run, and it is an absolute milestone for our continent. My name is Caitlin Nash and I am Managing Director of Loudhailer and co-founder of the Global Startup Awards Africa. It will be a privilege to spend time with you as we discover the new future shapers across 12 dynamic categories that we scouted across 55 countries on the continent. I'd like to encourage all of you that while you listen to some of the most inspiring speakers across the continent, that you also let us know where you're from, who you are, and what is your relationship to the awards and your interest. I know we have many of our phenomenal country partners on board listening, our jury members who have worked tirelessly with their evaluations, and some of our partners and ambassadors around the world who are here to support us to see Africa rise in our innovation brand. Our very first speaker here to introduce the AgriTech category is none other than the female role model, Ife Umuna. Ife joins us as co-CEO and co-founder of Nourishing Africa, who have also been a partner to the Global Startup Awards. Ife is a dedicated leader within the agricultural sector, and we applaud Nourishing Africa's commitment to connect 1 million innovative, dynamic agri-food entrepreneurs across the continent.
Thanks, Caitlin, for the kind introduction. I'm Ife Umuna, the co-CEO of Nourishing Africa, a digital platform aimed at equipping and connecting agri-food entrepreneurs across Africa. Nourishing Africa has built a virtual community of over 55,000 agri-food entrepreneurs and enthusiasts across 37 African countries through our various channels and platforms, where they connect directly with each other and gain access to opportunities including funding, data, learning resources, events, technology, talents, inputs, and other resources and tools that they need to scale their businesses. Our mission is to drive the profitable and sustainable growth of the African agri-food landscape by attracting, empowering, equipping, connecting, and celebrating over 1 million dynamic and innovative young agri-food entrepreneurs. Our vision at Nourishing Africa is really to see a flourishing and sustainable as well as just food ecosystem that leverages AgTech and digital innovation that is driven by Africa's vibrant entrepreneurs and ensures that the continent is food secure, nourishes itself, and becomes net exporters of food to the world by 2050. My experiences span across the agriculture, nutrition, and gender sectors, including working at the Partnership for Newborn, Maternal, and Adolescent Health at the WHO in Geneva, the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition in London, Girl Effect and Sahel Consulting in Nigeria prior to Nourishing Africa. Through my experiences, I have seen firsthand the need for us to have accessible, affordable, and healthy food for all. This will only be possible through increased production and efficiency spurred by technology and innovation in the sector. From Senegal to Kenya, South Africa to Egypt, we have seen the emergence of technology and innovation across the sector in Africa, from the use of drones and sensors on farms to financial inclusion of rural and marginalized communities, to digital supply chain management and big data, informing SMEs and other critical stakeholders. There's a growing and exciting trend of digital intervention being adopted across Africa. This trend has allowed hundreds of SMEs to leapfrog in their productivity, outputs, and resilience against shocks such as COVID-19. With that said, we need more actors within the value chain to adopt and integrate technology and innovation into their business models. There's so much opportunity for digital innovation and interventions in agricultural inputs such as soil health and fertility, crop protection, mechanization and production, extension support to farmers, big data, post-harvest storage and aggregation, logistics, as well as processing. Realizing Africa's full agricultural potential will require significant investment in these areas, including financial investment, investing in talent and knowledge creation, as well as the fair distribution of this data. The current average age of someone within the sector is 60 years old. This is simply unsustainable. In order to truly realize and be self-sufficient as a continent, we have to ensure that we engage more young people and get them into meaningful and fulfilling work. This can only be done by making agriculture and food attractive and a viable career path for young people, the same way the oil and gas industry and the finance industry have done so. When I discuss agriculture, I don't automatically refer to farmers and farming, as this is the general and at times only perception that those within the agriculture and food space and those who are not in the food space are aware of. I think it's important to inform young people who are not looking to do what their forefathers did and who want to be progressive and innovative that there's space in the sector to do so. Within the entire value chain, there's room for technology and research and big data, marketing and advertising, logistics, the list really goes on. For us within the sector, we have to expose and highlight the various areas within the agriculture and food space, showcasing aspects that would be exciting to millennials and Gen Zs. This is the first step in engaging the brightest talent that the continent has to offer and truly realizing our potential. With the rapid increase of the African population and the growing crisis of climate change, I foresee digitization and climate-smart agriculture at the center of agriculture. In the next 10 years, I really believe that as a result of the increasing demand for food, particularly healthy food, that is not produced in a harmful way to the environment, we have to ensure that SMEs and AgriTechs and other critical stakeholders are well positioned to transform with the revolution and the transformation ongoing. We have to ensure that business models are resilient and sustainable, as well as are climate smart in their operations and productions. Good luck to all the finalists. I look forward to seeing the incredible innovations that you will enrich our sector with. Thank you.
The AgriTech category recognises innovative solutions in food security, food production, farming methods and nutrition. The 2021 regional winners are Northern Africa. From Egypt, ZR3I. Eastern Africa. From Tanzania, Biobu. Southern Africa. From Zambia, Netagro Technologies. Central Africa. From Cameroon, Fresh Bag. Western Africa. From Ghana, GIIG.
Hi, my name is Isaac Osei. I'm the CTO and co-founder of GIIG, an agricultural technology company based in Ghana. We serve smallholder farmers in Africa. We increase their global competitiveness by clustering them into a digital group so that they have a mega digital farm, and the value that they create helps them become competitive economically, just like commercial farmers. We also give them access to credit and access to rich markets. And we help debt financiers and banks de-risk by addressing the primary issues that include bankability, data gaps, pests, diseases, weather, unstable market, and finally, force majeures.
Our next category is none other than commerce tech. To introduce this is a power fintech leader, Noah Shaker. She's an angel investor, a thought leader, a global partner on multiple donor aid programs around the world. But more importantly, right now, she is the vice president of the African Fintech Network, as well as the founder of the Egyptian Fintech Association. Both of these non-profit organizations strive to work towards financial inclusion by using fintech to democratize financial access. With that, we'd like to welcome Noah to introduce Commerce Tech.
Thank you very much for having me. My name is Noah Shaker. I'm the founder and Secretary General of the Egyptian Fintech Association and the Vice President of the Africa Fintech Network. I'm also a GoBee partner for Impact Investment. I bring more than 20 years of experience into banking, fintech, as well as impact investment. One major emerging trend within the digital economy and commerce tech in Africa would be the robust growth in the number of platforms offering digital services. We have witnessed 37% growth in the number of digital platforms operating in Africa due to COVID since 2019. The majority of those platforms offer online shopping services, freelancing, as well as e-hailing. The second major trend is the emergence of what we call embedded finance. So a majority of the e-commerce platforms that are up and running have already started to embed an element of financial services as part of their services provided. So you can ask to finance a purchase. You can also purchase embedded digital insurance as part of your customer experience, and that definitely contributes to financial inclusion, especially amongst the players of the gray economy, as we say, whether they are financially excluded micro, small, and medium businesses or individuals. Climate tech is one of the major areas of opportunity that presents itself into the Middle East and Africa region. Capital is definitely pouring in climate tech from multiple directions, from venture capital funds as well as companies who are committed to certain ESG goals. The funding to climate tech, or green tech as we call it, has grown 5 times faster than any other industry over the past 5 years. For the first half of 2021, $16 billion of funding were actually channeled into climate tech or green tech businesses. The majority of the funding goes into US, Europe and Asia, but Africa and the Middle East is definitely catching up. So there are opportunities for businesses that are in AgriTech, telemedicine, green energy, as well as telemedicine, EduTech. And of course, there are also opportunities for investors who wish to invest in green tech or climate tech, as we call it. The tech commerce industry is definitely going green. There are a lot of initiatives that are working on greening the financial industry, making sure that the impact lies at the heart of every process and operation of a bank, insurance company, or investment bank that's out there. And definitely that is going to have a huge impact on which industries and which businesses are going to operate profitably. And definitely green businesses, green platforms supporting green industries, it is going to find it much easier to operate profitably in the green world of tomorrow. There are already initiatives that have been launched and published, like the Green Taxonomy initiative that was launched by the World Bank to make sure that green businesses are taxed more favorably than the traditional businesses who do not have impact at the core of their operations. African green tech businesses are going to play a very critical and important role in addressing climate change crisis. If we look at AgriTech boosting the farming sustainability, or digital tech that actually connects homes to solar energies, building sustainable and affordable off-the-grid energy stations and units that can serve underserved economies. If we look at mobile money and its green benefits, as well as other digital solutions that works on reducing water waste, for example, and of course digitalization or digital technologies that deals with embedded insurance, lending, saving, and payment services that can actually be also leveraged using embedded finance, as we mentioned earlier, to have digital platforms attend to the service needs of the population, including their financial services as well, is going to serve both financial inclusion as well as the resilience that is much required and needed for African small businesses in general.
Commerce Tech acknowledges the startups connecting Africa by enabling commerce using technologies ranging from mobile commerce, e-commerce, blockchain and cryptocurrency, to Fintech, InsurTech and big data. Here are the regional winners. Northern Africa. From Tunisia, Kayun. Eastern Africa. From Mauritius, Rawazi. Southern Africa. From South Africa, Consumption Information Real Time.
There is nothing expedient, contactless, or hyper-personalized about retail shopping today. Hi, I'm AJ Loudon, co-founder of QHop. QHop offers a contactless, cashless retail checkout solution using our mobile app to provide hyper-personalized marketing.
Western Africa. From Nigeria, Check It Technologies. Central Africa. From Cameroon, Smart Box Station.
Hello, I am Flaubert Kamedine, founder of Smartbox Station. Problem: lack of access for parcel delivery in Central Africa. Solution: Smartbox Station as delivery address.
After such a great lineup of winners in the Commerce Tech category, we now move on to the next category, Industrial Tech. Here to introduce the category is Jonas Corelli, Head of Bosch Mining Solutions in Africa. Jonas comes with 22 years of experience across different industries and countries, and at the moment he has a focus on automation, digital transformation and artificial intelligence of things in the mining space within Africa. Jonas, we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm Jonas Corelli. I have 22 years of experience in different industries, such as automotive, mining and technology, in different regions as well, Latin America, Europe, and recently in Africa. Although we all know that the African continent has greater challenges compared to other more developed regions or countries, I believe the trends in the industry are similar, but with a different maturity level. When you talk about technology, it's clear that topics such as data are still a mega trend. As the beginning of the pandemic was perhaps seen as a buzzword in the market, but it has actually accelerated the path towards the implementation itself of technologies which enable the data acquisition and technical infrastructure involved in dealing with such devices and data like sensors, drones, deep machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and cybersecurity, for example. It's important to mention also 5G as one topic which is moving forward in some countries like Nigeria and Kenya, for example. The 5G networks will increase the connectivity speed of IoT devices with a low latency. Therefore, the concept of a smart city will be possible. Nevertheless, there are some steps that we have to follow in this journey. The first one is to have the enablement process, which means having infrastructure and connected devices. Then you move to the second steps where you create an ecosystem through those devices, so digitize that environment. And then you move to the third step where different ecosystems will be connected and interacting with each other. Yeah? And in parallel of this journey, some companies are already discussing and working on that, and Bosch actually launched that already in the market or announced that in the market, which is the Code of Ethics for Artificial Intelligence. It's very important to be transparent how the artificial intelligence works, so then the people and customers will be confident to apply such technology in their environment. You know, it's pointless to highlight the gaps that are already known on the continent, such as infrastructure, qualification, and etc. In such a diverse and challenging environment, I believe there is a great opportunity to create an ecosystem on the continent where the evolution of industry can take a more strategic and holistic view. I believe one of the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution is collaboration. which governments, large companies, small companies, and startups can evolve a lot, generating an extremely positive environment for the development of people, countries, and organizations. And moving towards this direction, it's important to mention that we as Bosch, we are working on a project for 2022 called Intelligent Mining Solutions with GIIG, Global Innovation Initiative Group, universities and some mining companies related, which includes students participating in a hackathon to identify possible solutions for some pains in the mining industry, and then possibly starting a new startup or a new business from that challenge. So I think it will be a very important contribution for next year. Yeah, the pandemic also led to a shortage in the supply of chips and semiconductors. With the increase in digitization applications, IoT, and so on, I see this demand continuing to rise, and an adjustment in the supply chain will be made, has to be made. Nevertheless, I see a great demand, but a lack of qualified professionals to meet the technical labor market requirements. The technical demand, in particular, the programmers or full stack programming, is still in a short supply. This is definitely a very important topic. We have to highlight ESG and decarbonization as mega trends in the market. Africa technologies through either big companies or green startups solving Africa's problems play a very important role to reduce the climate impact. I have some examples in the automation and mobility sector. There's an interesting article at techcrunch.com about a Nigerian startup called Shuttlers, which raised $1.6 million in seed funding for Pan-African expansion. Shuttlers classified themselves as a tech-enabled scheduled bus sharing company, which solves one of the issues here in the continent and in Nigeria, which is the inefficient public transportation. And I read recently in the Namibian portal, the European Union and countries including US, Germany, France, and UK are keen to help South Africa develop its hydrogen potential. South Africa, with its natural resources, logistics assets, and research capabilities, is reported to be well placed for the boost in development of a hydrogen sector to help the transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy. And the sector has the potential to create 1.8 million jobs. And there are important technology use case for that, from in the industry, from mining business to fleet of public transportation buses. Yeah? And also, Bosch is launching in one of the biggest mining operations here next year, a project called Start-Stop Retrofit, where we are going to install a start-stop solution for haul trucks in the mining operation, so reducing the CO2 emissions and also reducing the fuel consumption as well.
Industrial Tech celebrates the startup that is enabling Africa's industrialisation with innovative solutions for safety, mining, manufacturing, production, logistics, mobility and supply chain management. And the Industrial Tech regional winners are Northern Africa. From Morocco, Zeli Invent.
Hello, my name is Saif. I'm from Morocco. I am the CEO and co-founder of GIIG Invent, a startup that transforms plastic waste into eco-friendly construction materials.
Eastern Africa. From Kenya, Discover Brand Systems Limited.
I'm Dennis Misheni, founder and CEO of Discover Brands 3D Printing. The problem is solid waste management and unemployment. The solution is implementing of solid waste segregation at source models using emerging technologies and green and circular economy.
Southern Africa. From South Africa, Line Organic Limited. Western Africa. From Nigeria, TRIPS.
Hi, my name is Onyeka Akuma and I'm the co-founder and CEO of TRIPS. TRIPS is a mobile app that connects over 500,000 Africans with the opportunity to use buses within cities and across cities in the most convenient, predictable and affordable way possible.
Central Africa. From the Democratic Republic of Congo is Congo Food Processing Technology Limited.
Remen Maisha is my name, CEO of Congo Food Processing Technology. There is hunger and malnutrition in DRC. The solution is a company which locally processes foodstuff to sell at a cheaper price.
The next category we have is ESG, Environmental, Social and Corporate Governance. Here to introduce the category is Sally Ann Farrington, Director of Strategy for the Global Innovation Initiative Group. Sally Ann not only has her MBA, but specialized in one of the world's most advanced applied brand marketing courses in the world. Sally Ann has always been deeply passionate about the environment and climate change and has been awarded for her exceptional cause-related work for Save the Children. Here, we listen to Sally Ann telling us about what trends we can expect to see in ESG and the narratives around it.
Hello, my name is Sally Ann Farrington and I'm the Director of Strategy for the Global Innovation Initiative Group. The African continent is undergoing massive urban growth and population expansion, and by 2030 it is estimated that up to 118 million people earning less than $1.90 a day will be exposed to drought, floods and extreme heat in Africa if response measures are not put in place. 1.3 billion people will remain extremely vulnerable as the continent warms more and at a faster rate than the global average, whilst only producing 4% of worldwide greenhouse gas emissions. Despite having contributed the least to global warming and having the lowest emissions, Africa faces exponential collateral damage, posing systematic risks to its economies, infrastructure, investments, water and food systems, public health, agriculture and livelihoods, threatening to undo its modest development gains. In fact, 7 of the 10 countries that are most vulnerable to climate change are in Africa. Climate change obviously intensifies many existing challenges that are in Africa, refugee crises and high poverty to mention just 2. In addition, displacement has been on the rise, with Africa's urban poor more likely to live in high-risk zones and less able to move in the event of a natural disaster. For example, in Nigeria, a sea level rise of 1 metre could displace 6.3 million people in Lagos alone. Furthermore, since agriculture accounts for the primary share of Africa's economy, the continent is especially vulnerable to climate change, with 100 million people facing catastrophic levels of food insecurity. So in short, Africa's most vulnerable regions need special support to break these cycles. On a positive note, we are beginning to see a movement across the continent from individuals who are creating world-changing solutions that could impact climate change. But these innovations need greater momentum and support, which can only come from the wealthier nations of the world. For Africans to deal effectively with climate change, they should not only be the recipients of advice, but also participants in the discussions on how best to deal with the challenge. A more collaborative approach to tackle climate change is what is needed. I am therefore delighted to have been asked to speak at this event, where we are seeing some incredible startups, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you all the best of luck.
ESG Tech recognises startups that enable environmental, social impact or corporate governance solutions in areas such as renewable energy, clean tech, sustainability, recycling, water and sanitation, human rights, EdTech, GovTech, policy and regulation, among others. With no further ado, please meet our ESG winners. Northern Africa. From Morocco, DAWATech. Eastern Africa. From Kenya, it's GIIG.
I'm Kudus Asfal, CEO of GIIG. Africa is growing at a rapid pace, but so is its environmental footprint. What we're doing is creating low-carbon, affordable building materials made out of plastic waste.
Southern Africa. From South Africa, it's AgriTech.
We are AgriTech, based in Johannesburg, South Africa. We are taking unrecyclable waste plastic and turning it into usable, carbon-neutral energy.
Western Africa. From Nigeria, Scrappays.
After 4 fantastic categories, we've now come to a break. For 10 minutes, there will be nothing airing on the screen, just a little bit of music playing, so everyone can grab some coffee, answer a phone call, or please share your LinkedIn profile in the chat. For those of you who haven't yet told us where you're from, why you've joined, or your interest in the awards, please do so now. A 10-minute networking break is exactly what we need at this moment. Many of us who track the venture capital investment landscape will know that there is a lot of debate around investment in female-led ventures. Here to introduce our next category, Women in Tech, is Sarah Dusak, co-founder and managing partner in Enigma Ventures. Sarah is a lead investor in women-led businesses and currently serves on the board of 10 up-and-coming startups across the continent. Sarah has walked the walk and talked the talk, having built and sold her own business for over $100 million. We're privileged to have Sarah here with us today to share her thoughts on female-led investing on the continent.
Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm Sarah Dusak, the co-founder and managing partner of Enigma Ventures, a VC firm that invests in women-led and founded businesses in Africa. It's therefore my absolute pleasure to introduce this category, Women in Tech. We've seen huge advancements in the growth of African companies over the last few years, and we're seeing exciting new initiatives to move the continent forward in e-commerce, EdTech, Fintech, and business tech. The digital revolution has most definitely been picking up a pace, and there is increasing appetite amongst investors to invest in the continent, which is very exciting to see. There is, of course, still much digitization to go across the board, but it is particularly exciting to see the revolutions in healthcare and financial services, increasing the access to services and opportunities across socio-economic barriers. I'm personally excited to see the big issues of education, healthcare and financial services for all being tackled in increasing measure. I'm also very excited to see women at the forefront of many of the advances in pushing the continent forward. Women are pioneering new technologies, creating new markets and creating jobs. I'm excited to champion more and more women to lead their nations as they push boundaries and create new opportunities. Africa is a continent full of opportunities, and at this moment, a unique opportunity exists to leapfrog forward, particularly in the area of the energy revolution. As we all know, Africa has huge issues with its own energy crisis and shortages of power, and therefore it's critical that she leads by utilising new and existing alternative technologies. Africa could leapfrog forward in this moment and by implementing widespread alternative energy usage, and could really lead the world out of the reliance on fossil fuels and show the world what it looks like to utilise green solutions across the board. I'm excited by the continent and excited by the evolutions that are happening and will happen over the next coming decade, and I congratulate all our finalists on their endeavours to move us forward. Thank you.
Our Women in Tech category celebrates pioneering tech startups founded and owned by women. Meet our women pioneers. Northern Africa. From Egypt, it's Tekeya.
I am Minna Shaheen, co-founder of Tekeya. Tekeya's aim to fight food waste in Middle East, where each year one person wastes around 250 kilograms of edible food. And our addressable market, Egypt, is still 30% of the people live below the poverty line. We created a digital marketplace where food providers like restaurants, groceries, bakeries can sell surplus food for consumer at reduced price or donate it for free for charity organizations. By downloading Tekeya app, our users can directly contribute to saving food from being wasted, get a fresh meal at low price, help the environment at the same time.
Eastern Africa. From Tanzania, Mipango Fintech Limited.
Hi, we are the founders of Mipango app, and my name is Lilian McCoy.
My name is Agnes Mola.
Nicholas Golongolo.
Chris Ravi. So Mipango app is an artificial intelligence-enabled personal finance application for the African market.
We started this app mainly because there's no personal finance app that is localized, and that besides from tracking expenses, it can also use your data to provide financial advice that is personal.
We actually worked together for 4 years on a different successful product startup, which was in Fintech and serving the salmon market.
Repango is your personal financial advisor that will help you achieve your financial success.
Thank you.
Southern Africa. From Botswana, it's Doctors E-Consult. Western Africa. From Nigeria, Kitovu. Central Africa. From the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's Eco Plus.
After the announcement of the inspiring winners of the Women in Tech category, we now move on to another sector that has garnered much interest both globally and on the continent, namely HealthTech. Here to introduce the category is Dr. Nada. She's merged her medical practitioner expertise with business and tech in a relentless pursuit to find innovative solutions that provide access for all to healthcare. Her ambition and her commitment to this sector has shown as a co-founder in her very own HealthTech startup and a portfolio lead at PrayHealth, a digital health NPO. Here, she shares her insights on African tech.
Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm Dr. Nakolo Gata, portfolio lead at PrayHealth.org, a digital health NGO based in South Africa. And I myself am also a HealthTech co-founder. As a medical doctor now working in HealthTech, it is my clinical experience that enables me to draw on the insights I gained working as a clinician. But also, as a former co-founder, I understand the grit, the innovation, and collaboration that is required to making a sustainable impact in HealthTech. And this is what drives me and my commitment to finding innovative solutions that enhance resource-constrained healthcare systems, particularly in Africa. The current need in Africa remains rooted in solving two main barriers. Firstly, geographical barriers. Some communities in sub-Saharan Africa live more than 3 hours away from the nearest healthcare facility. And secondly, resource barriers due to reduced systems capacity. For example, South Africa has 7 medical doctors per 10,000 people, compared to the United States or the UK with 58 doctors per 10,000 people. So as a result, digital health trends in Africa are therefore mainly focused in providing low-tech solutions that facilitate remote care to enable equitable access and task shifting to maximize healthcare resources. These low-tech solutions, they're not fancy apps or detailed AI, but they're simple mobile health solutions, mainly due to the penetration of basic phones that are rarely smart. They have small screens and use very limited data. So today we see the use of simple tech like USSD and SMS, and now WhatsApp being integral to most solutions. HealthTech in Africa is all about keeping it simple, but meaningful. But there is still ample opportunity for innovation when designing human-centered, smart, low-tech solutions. Today, especially in the wake of the COVID pandemic, the need for centralized, easy-to-access data from both the healthcare worker on the front line and citizens are important to inform rapid decision-making. We know ministries of health are now looking to startups to innovate these solutions, and they are prioritizing integration and interoperability of internal systems, and many of which are yet to be designed. Mobile health, which is really a wireless medical service accessible by any mobile phone, is a rapidly expanding market expected to exceed over $300 billion by 2025. For example, the Google Play Store, it launched over 6,000 new medical apps in 2020 alone. So it's clear medical apps are becoming acceptable and trusted by end users now more than ever. But these apps, they're mainly a form of remote care with bots or video consults because people seek to save time and money, and is no different for the healthcare systems. Although in middle to low income countries apps are way less popular, it is still likely that the trend towards remote care and consultation will follow. In South Africa, prior to the pandemic, video consultations with a new healthcare provider was deemed unacceptable by health regulators. But due to the COVID pandemic and the stay-at-home orders, it has since been adapted. And so these new regulatory changes, they begin to pave the way for new trends in innovation and normalizing equitable distribution of access to remote care for patients. In closing, although tech and health tech in particular is critical to solving the healthcare crisis in Africa, we must remember that healthcare is complex. The social determinants of health, they are vast and require innovators to collaborate in order to have a sustainable impact. Education, employment, one's environment, social support, and access to healthcare, they are all contributors that promote well-being. And so a holistic and well-considered solution is the key to making a meaningful impact.
The HealthTech category winners include startups that have initiated medical breakthroughs through innovative solutions in biotech, health-tech, wellness and telemedicine to improve the quality of life. Here are the 2021 HealthTech winners. Northern Africa. From Egypt, 3 Elagi. Eastern Africa. From Kenya, My Health Africa.
Hi, we're My Health Africa.
In many emerging markets, patients are unable to access affordable, high-specialized quality treatments and services.
Through our digital technology, we assist patients across emerging markets to access the right medical treatment and affordable specialized medical services.
Southern Africa. From Zambia, Dawa Health.
Hi there, it's Stefanzo Munzo from Dawa Health. I'm the co-founder and team lead. We are solving the maternal health access problem in sub-Saharan Africa with a digital health platform that's democratizing access to maternal care.
Western Africa. From Ghana, it's Walla Digital Health. Central Africa. From Cameroon, Nucleus Biotech Labs.
This now brings us to our next category, VC of the Year. To introduce the category, we have Isaac Foku. He is the founder of Boto Emerging Markets Group. They have offices in Nairobi, Dubai, and Chicago. Isaac is an active investor himself, but also a political economy advisor and a strategic investment advisor, having overseen transactions to the value of $2 billion in debt and equity. Isaac is here to give us insights into gaps in the VC market, as well as some of the megatrends we can expect to see.
I'm Isaac Fokuo. I have about 15 years experience advising companies in Africa. Some of the mega trends in Africa right now are the continued growth in the fintech sector. Africa is the largest adopter of mobile money transfer systems, as most of you already probably know, comprising nearly half of all global registered mobile money customers and about 70% of global money transactions. Over the last year, in 2020, we saw that 25% of startups funded came from the fintech sector, followed by e-commerce at around 13.5% or so. E-health came in third at about 10%, with logistics following in suit, about 7% of all funded investments. Fintech is likely to continue attracting investments as digital literacy, access and adaptation improves across the African ecosystem. Also, AgriTech in East Africa seems to be an interesting trend. Nearly, more than $59 million of funds raised by AgriTech startups across Africa in 2020 represented about 8.6% of the total startup capital raised in the continent, which was an increase of about 23% from 2019, and is geared to reach about $48 million coming soon. Funding AgriTech startups, especially focused toward e-commerce or marketplaces, appears to poised to gain momentum, especially during this era of COVID-19. And so we are expecting to see. There are several gaps in the industry currently that I believe we need to take a look at to actually create more opportunity across the continent. One of them, I guess the first one is what I call sectorial opportunities. Many of the region's local fintech startups are based in sub-Saharan Africa's tech hubs, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. However, due to fintech's geographic concentration on the continent and its limited but expanding access to financing and business scaling, Africa fintech firms predominantly operate within their own countries of origin, or at least regionally. And consequently, what then happens is that the continent's digital payment systems are highly fragmented. By bridging this demographic gap, I believe that startups can invest more effectively in organizations that have close understanding of the regional context and nuances, and also identifying and solving issues that may be more community-based to stop some of this fragmentation. The other issue I'll mention is around gender. Currently, 75% of the about 1,100 companies have all male teams. 9% have female teams, and 14% have a mix of male and female founders. Just 3% of the 1.7 billion funding of Africa early stage startups between 2013 and 2021 went to all female founding teams, with 76% of that funding going to all male teams. So I think that's one area that we need that needs a lot of work. The other issue is around what I call privilege. I mean, only 6% of startups funded locally in Kenya were actually from local founders, and 70% of the startups in Kenya that raised at least $1 million of venture capital investment in 2018 were led by non-Kenyan founders, despite the fact that expatriates only make up only 0.15% of the entire Kenyan population. So again, another area that I believe that there's some opportunity. Over the next 10 years, I believe there's going to be a lot of excitement in the African ecosystem in terms of increasing demand. Currently, Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya are the hotspots when it comes to the Africa VC investment story, with about $300 million raised, $300 million and $305 million raised respectively by Kenya and Nigeria. Egypt is also a major player with I think Egypt raised about $260 million of funding last year, while South Africa came in at about $259 million positioning itself. Rwanda, interestingly, has branded itself as the hub of East Africa. And last year, in 2019, Rwanda raised about $126 million in startup funding, which is pretty impressive for a country its size. Investments in the African continent are increasingly becoming less concentrated in specific geographic areas, as governments take note and are catching up with regulations to ease the business environment to attract more investments into their locales. For example, Senegal introduced the Senegal Startup Act to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in the country, covering areas such as tax policies, startup financing, startup labeling, and promotion of data protection laws and sharing to make sure the entrepreneurs and businesses had a better environment in which to operate. Dakar has also been home to an increasing number of co-working spaces and technology parks despite the ongoing pandemic. Dakar's strategic positioning as a future giant in startup hub in Francophone Africa is one that is, I think, favorable to its space. And currently, Dakar is ranked as a entrepreneurial hub with stable political climate, showcasing of interesting and dynamic talent, among others. As investments pour in, there's hope that more equitable distribution of VC funding on the continent to become more available. And also with the AFCFTA, we believe that there's a potential to address some of these challenges with scalability while improving cross-border access and trade on the continent over the next decade or so. The climate crisis is obviously a concern, and I believe African technologies can actually do some work in the space. As we know, in the VC space alone, funding to climate tech grew 5 times faster than the wider industry between 2013 and 2019, and the surge has not stopped. In the first half of 2021, startups focused on climate tech got more VC funding than they did in all of 2019. Obviously, without surprise, perhaps, close to 93% of climate tech investments went to the US, China, and Europe. Africa only had about 0.2% of these deals that we're talking about. Look, the continent is home to vast resources needed for climate innovation, from the DRC's large cobalt deposit, which enables global battery production, to the swaths of desert, and now that are now attracting attention for green hydrogen. There are many potential opportunities in that space. Also, Africa's off-grid solar sector represents a $24 billion annual opportunity for investors. Moreover, deploying data to access changing climatic conditions and encouraging investments in AgriTech can help mitigate the risk of climate change and also food insecurity.
Our VC of the Year category celebrates VCs who have created impressive financial results while investing bravely in innovative companies which can positively impact the economy as well as the world, supporting them also with resources other than just financial. Meet our VC winners. Eastern Africa. From Uganda, it's Autus Africa Capital. Southern Africa. From South Africa, it's Lysani Capital.
It is a great honor to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Hassan Osman. He is the Vice President of the Information Technology Industry Development Agency, and he joins us here today ahead of our announcement of Best Accelerator and Co-working Space. Dr. Osman holds senior leadership roles in the ecosystem, all of which focus on driving forward software engineering skills, tech innovation, and ICT entrepreneurship. Here today, he will be sharing his insights from his ecosystem perspective.
Hello, thanks for your introduction. I am Hussam Osman, Director of the Technology, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, TIC, in Egypt. I have over 30-year experience in IT, divided between industry and academia, private and governmental organizations, small and national level projects, local and overseas companies. Great pleasure to discuss the African entrepreneurial ecosystem. It's a great time to be a startup in Africa. This is clearly demonstrated by the near daily headlines about African startups raising investment from overseas. The current mega trends in Africa are depicted by the industrial sectors of the African unicorns and centers. We have 5 African unicorns so far in Fintech, e-commerce, and transportation, and we have quite a few number of centers in healthcare, retail, and logistics. With a tremendous opportunity for reasons that include abundant, young, tech-savvy talent pool, large fragmented markets, and institutional voids. Technology-driven startups are by default agile and risk-taker, and only those startups with inside Africa know-how can overcome and address the relevant pain points encountered in Africa. No one else can. In the next 10 years, we shall witness more support for personalizations by technologies, AI-enabled consciousness, wide and more seamless human-machine collaboration, metaverse, and meta-virtualization. So the already huge opportunity window will even get much bigger, particularly in sectors as EdTech, healthcare, tourism, gaming, and entertainment. Many African startups are adopting platform strategy, enabling sharing economy in sectors impacting climate, as in waste disposal, transportation, and natural resource management. And certainly, this is in favor of addressing the climate crisis. Incubators and accelerators in Africa are of high value concerning sustaining a robust pipeline of African startups, overcoming the current shortage of seed stage investment in Africa, and providing guidance to new emerging opportunities. The importance of the African entrepreneurial community cannot be overstated. They have the answers to the crucial issues in Africa, at the issues of job creation and economic growth, for the sake of the well-being of all African citizens. Thank you very much.
Our Best Accelerator Incubator Program category scouted fixed-term cohort-based mentorship-driven programs that help and empower entrepreneurs to foster the growth of their innovative companies by providing tools, resources, connections, knowledge and expertise. Here are our 5 regional winners. Northern Africa. From Egypt, AUC Venture Lab.
Hi, I'm Dina Zalat from AUC Venture Lab. Startups in Egypt need the right combination of knowledge, opportunities, and networks to launch, grow, and scale. AUC Venture Lab is a university-based accelerator offering this and more.
Eastern Africa. From Tanzania is Innovate Hub. Southern Africa. From South Africa, it's Ocean Hub Africa.
Hi, my name is Alexi Groskopf. I'm the CEO of Ocean Hub Africa. The problem is that when you're an ocean-minded entrepreneur in Africa, you're simply left out into the blue, unlike if you were doing Fintech or AgTech. And the solution is what we do at Ocean Hub Africa. We are an accelerator that supports the development and adoption of new sustainable ocean solutions here in Africa.
Western Africa. From Benin, The Space. Central Africa. From the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's Kobo Hub.
Hi everyone, my name is Sidonie Laterre. I'm from Kinshasa, DRC, and I'm the founder of Kobo Hub. African entrepreneurs are experiencing many challenges due to a weak ecosystem. So Kobo Hub is our solution. We are an accelerator of startups who provides many services such as training, coaching, mentorship, technical and financial support.
Our best co-working space winners are recognised for the services, support and resources the space provides to fast growth startups and for creating a culture and environment that fosters innovation and focuses on positive impact for the world. Meet the regional winners. Northern Africa. From Egypt, it's Mackinac Office Space. Eastern Africa. From Mauritius, La Plage Factory Maurice. Southern Africa. From South Africa, Workshop 17.
Hi, I'm Paul, co-founder and CEO of Workshop 17. We provide workspace solutions. The world of work has changed and workplaces need to change too. People are looking for an inspiring workspace, to be part of an inspiring community, to open up opportunities, open up new ideas, and that's what we're offering them throughout South Africa and into Africa.
Western Africa. From Nigeria, Hub 30.
Hi, I'm Ivaitese, the founder of HealthTech co-working space. Startups need to cut costs, to work in a collaborative environment. They need a huge community to network and to learn. And the solution is HealthTech co-working space. Thank you.
Central Africa. From Gabon, Given Back.
It's really been an awe-inspiring journey finding these top 1% of African future shapers on our continent. It's a great congratulations to all the winners announced so far. For now, we'd like to hear from Kim Ball, the CEO and founder of the Global Startup Awards based in Denmark. Kim is an entrepreneur himself, a visual storyteller, and somebody truly committed to unearthing the future innovation, which he believes will come from Africa.
I'm sending to you here from Denmark. Denmark is also the birthplace of Global Startup Awards. It all began with the Nordic region, the Nordic Startup Awards. And now here, around 10 years later, it's really interesting to look back and see how the ecosystem in the Nordic region has changed so dramatically since the beginning. Now the Nordic ecosystem is professional, it's connected. You also see the outcome. Stockholm, which is the capital of Sweden, has the most number of unicorn per capita in the world. So why I'm telling you all of this? I'm telling you this because this was only possible due to this strong ecosystem. And we see the same development happening in Africa right now. We can feel the energy. We can see how it's professionalizing on a local level, even on pan-African level. and this will create a lot of opportunities for the future founders in Africa. I also really believe that there's a great opportunity for African founders in the coming years. There are two big shifts happening in the world. One is the focus on the green agenda. It's here to stay. The focus is going to be even enhanced over time. The focus comes from corporate, from governments, and it creates entirely new markets. The second big shift is that, as I mentioned before, the startup ecosystem is the foundation for the success of the Nordic, but this development of startup ecosystems around the world is not only happening in the Nordic, it's what's happening in Africa, it's what's happening in Southeast Asia and South Asia, basically anywhere in the world. It's a really, really amazing development, and it will mean that in the future, for a founder anywhere in the world, the access to funding, the access to technology, just access to understanding of how do you take an idea to something real and then scale it up. It means that the gap for a founder from anywhere in the world, his or her opportunity to take something and be successful locally and then nationally and then globally, that gap to succeed with that has become rapidly smaller. This also puts a lot of responsibility on you African entrepreneurs, because you have the chance to really do innovation that will impact the rest of the world. And I truly believe that a lot of the innovation of the future will come out of Africa. So the choices that you make, the solutions that you create will influence the rest of the world. So you have the responsibility on your shoulders to do good choices that will create great innovation that is not only good financially, but also good for the future of the planet and for us as humans living here. With that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting Global Startup Awards Africa. As I mentioned before, startup ecosystems is the foundation for the success of a founder. And without the support from jury members, ambassadors, even participants who spend their energy filling out the forms, it will not be possible to create the Global Startup Awards Africa. And of course, the Global Startup Awards Africa is a competition, is an award show, but for us, it's actually also a vehicle to create that change. Through the competition, there will be connection created, valuable connections that will create innovation and value for society. So with that, I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting Global Startup Awards Africa. As I mentioned, the startup ecosystem is the foundation of the success for any founder, no matter where he's located. So the support that you give Global Startup Awards Africa is actually very important to create a stronger ecosystem across entire Africa. So thanks to the jury members, thanks to the ambassadors, thanks to the sponsors, and thanks to everyone who spent their energy and time filling out their applications. Of course, this is about celebrating the winners, to create role models and shining stars that can inspire the next generation. But at the end, it's also about creating an ecosystem and a network that can be the foundation for a better future. Finally, I hope you will enjoy the rest of the show, and I truly hope we will meet in person at somewhere in the world at some startup event, maybe a Global Startup Awards event, or maybe an event that is hosted by your local ecosystem.
The Best Newcomer category celebrates startups up to 2 years of age, with the potential to become Startup of the Year in the future. Its product and or service is already on the market, on a path to disrupt its industry and positively impact the economy. The category winners are Northern Africa. From Egypt, Clinido.
Hi, I'm Mina Shauqi, co-founder of Clinido. Our problem we are tackling is that the patient can't find the most appropriate healthcare provider for their case. And our solution is that we provide medical platform that simply connects patients with the appropriate doctor and specialty based on their symptoms.
Eastern Africa. From Uganda, it's Emata Uganda Limited. Southern Africa. From South Africa, it's Envision It Deep AI.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jayshree Naidu, the CEO of Envision It Deep AI. We democratize access to diagnostic healthcare using artificial intelligence and making doctors superhuman.
Western Africa. From Nigeria, it's Raozu.
my name is Tale Alimi. I am the CEO of OAFARA. Over 350 million people in sub-Saharan Africa lack access to financial services. And that is why at OAFARA, we're building platforms and building a digital banking marketplace that will bring access to financial services closer to the last mile, while leveraging a high-touch and high-tech platform with our partners to bring access to financial services like loans, savings, and insurance closer to the last mile so that they can be economically empowered and live a good life. Thank you.
Central Africa. From the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's Eco Plus. Founder of the Year is awarded to startup founders or co-founders who have shown strong leadership skills and achieved exceptional business results while being an inspiration to their team and a role model for the next generation of founders. Our winners are Northern Africa. From Egypt, Mohammed Al-Gawish from iSchool. Eastern Africa. From Ethiopia, Almor Molla from Coffee Resurrect.
Hi, I am Almor Molla, the founder of Coffee Resurrect. The problem? Millions of metric tons of spent coffee decompose in landfill and generate a tons of methane a day. Our solution? Coffee Resurrect, the first biotech company in Africa to create consumer goods from coffee waste.
Southern Africa. From South Africa, John Cornick from Plentify. Western Africa. From Nigeria, it's Uche Kenneth Udekwe from Natal Cares.
Hello everyone, my name is Uche Kenneth Udekwe. I'm the CEO and founder of Natal Cares, a social enterprise that leverages on the power of mobile technology, machine learning and low-cost innovations to combat maternal and infant mortality in Nigeria.
Central Africa. From the Congo, it's Divin Kuebetuka from Mvutu. Last but certainly not least, Startup of the Year. This category recognises startups that inspires the next generations of founders while positively impacting the economy and the world in general. It is a product and/or a service which is already a success on the market, disrupting its industry with an innovative approach. The Startup of the Year 2001 regional winners are Northern Africa. From Egypt, it's Garment.io. Eastern Africa. From Kenya, it's Cubic. Southern Africa. From Zambia, Lupia. Western Africa. From Nigeria, Salubata. Central Africa. From Burundi, it's Warrior Eco Green Enterprise.
Today was yet another phase in our pursuit to discover and showcase the top 12 startups who will be crowned the Global Startup Awards Africa winners. The regional winners announced today will now advance to compete on a continental level. Public voting opens on the 3rd of January and we encourage everyone to vote for the startup they feel most deserving to be in the top 12. Judging will also consist of a global and local panel of industry experts who will weigh in to help us discover and rate the top 12. The winners will be announced at the Global Startup Awards Africa Grand Finale taking place in March 2022. We encourage everyone to stay in touch via our social channels, to look for our contact details on our website and get in touch, whether it be for partnership or participation. We are here to grow an African startup community to showcase to the world via the Global Startup Awards. For everyone who's been watching this wonderful roundup of talent around the continent, thank you for your participation. Thank you for your support. To all the winners, congratulations. For all the runners-up, congratulations. And to everybody, we wish you a good night.